The average person is losing nearly 56 hours of sleep a year to heat. A new UCLA study finds that kids who own cell phones score significantly lower on reading comprehension, and the phone doesn't even have to be in the room. Just owning one is enough, and researchers have found that sperm whale communication includes vowels, diphthongs, and phonetic structures so parallel to human language that they're now asking what it means for animal legal rights. While everyone was busy arguing about politics, a bunch of other things happened. I'm Keith Conrad, and this is News SideQuest. Climate Central, one of the most respected independent climate research organizations in the world, just published a comprehensive analysis of temperature and sleep loss data from 1,300 cities across the globe, and the headline number from NPR's coverage of it is the one I want to start with. The average person around the world loses about 56 hours or 7 full nights of sleep each year to uncomfortably warm temperatures. About 10% of that lost sleep, roughly 5 to 6 hours, can be pinned directly to human-driven climate change. Across nearly every city analyzed, the amount of temperature-related sleep loss linked to climate change has at least doubled since the early 1970s. Sleep is tightly coupled to the body's ability to cool itself. Core body temperature needs to drop by about 1 to 2 degrees Fahrenheit to initiate and maintain sleep. When the bedroom is hot, and especially when overnight temperatures don't cool down, that physiological process gets disrupted. Kelton Ray Minor, professor of behavioral science at the University of Copenhagen, said a hot night's sleep can have long-term health consequences. When people are forced to sleep less, they have much worse cognitive functioning the next day. Christina Dahl, the lead scientist at Climate Central, put the cumulative picture clearly. Summertime is hot, it's always been, but climate change is making them hotter and making nights hotter. So it's really amplifying the sleep loss that would happen naturally. The individual per year number, 5 to 6 hours attributable to climate change directly, may not sound alarming, but it is worth putting it in context. That's 5 to 6 hours on top of all the other things eroding sleep that we've been tracking this year: the Alzheimer's protein spike from one bad night, the sleep cancer link, the sweet spot sleep study, and the number has doubled since the 1970s and is projected to keep rising. I think I may have experienced all 56 of those hours in the last couple of weeks. The last several weeks have been hot in a specific and persistent way that makes the overnight hours feel like a different climate than what I remember. What's the thing costing you the most sleep right now? What have you actually tried to address it?
It's so damn hot. Milk was a bad choice.
UCLA psychologist Patricia Greenfield and her team published a study this week in the journal Behavioral Sciences, examining 3rd and 6th grade students at Antelope Valley Public Schools and Coptic Church Schools in Los Angeles County, a deliberately diverse sample across English, Arabic, and Spanish-speaking households. The setup: some students owned phones, some didn't. Some brought their phones to school the day of the study, some didn't. All students read short passages and answered comprehension questions. Researchers then compared outcomes across all 4 groups. The researchers found a statistically significant relationship between owning a personal cell phone and lower reading scores. Children who owned cell phones had poorer comprehension than those who did not. Here's the twist that changes the policy conversation. The researchers found that the mere ownership of a phone, and not its presence during testing, was associated with weaker reading skills. In other words, phone bans in classrooms, which have been the primary policy response to this concern, may be addressing the wrong mechanism. The damage isn't happening during the test. It's happening in the accumulated hours of phone use outside of school, which are reshaping the cognitive habits that reading comprehension requires. UCLA researchers recommend parents wait until after elementary school to buy their kids their own mobile devices. There was one finding that complicates the picture in an interesting way. Among students from homes where English was not the primary language, earlier texting was linked to better reading comprehension. If you have a phone and if you're from a family where English is not spoken at home, it's better for reading comprehension to start texting earlier rather than later, Greenfield said, and in fact, when students from Arabic or Spanish-speaking homes began to text in 2nd or 3rd grade, by 6th grade they had reading comprehension scores similar to their peers who still did not have phones. So the finding is nuanced. For children in English-speaking homes, phone ownership is consistently associated with lower reading comprehension. For children in multilingual homes where texting may provide valuable English language practice, the relationship is more complex. When and how did you introduce phones to your kids? What went into that decision?
Who are you texting 50 times a day?
IDK, my BFF Joe.
A landmark paper published in April in Proceedings of the Royal Society B, authored by UC Berkeley linguist Gashper Begush and colleagues from Project CETY, the Cetacean Translation Initiative, has been recirculating this week with new coverage. Researchers analyzed nearly 4,000 sperm whale click sequences. From 15 female and young sperm whales, they found that sperm whales can differentiate vowels through short or elongated clicks or through rising or falling tones, using patterns similar to languages such as Mandarin, Latin, and Slovenian. The structure of the whale's communication has close parallels in the phonetics and phonology of human languages, suggesting independent evolution. That phrase, independent evolution, is the scientifically careful way of saying something extraordinary. That human language and sperm whale communication develop the same structural features completely separately, which suggests those features may reflect something fundamental about what it takes to communicate complex information at all, not something unique to human intelligence. The way sperm whales make contact is itself striking. If you watch sperm whales, they put their heads right together and click into each other's heads, said one researcher. It's like if you wanted to talk to someone about a Chaucer novel or something, you wouldn't want to do that from opposite ends of a football stadium. You would want to get real close to have a real sophisticated conversation. The broader goal of Project CETY is to actually translate sperm whale communication, to use AI and decades of accumulated recordings to eventually understand what the whales are saying. The lead researcher said, "We're thinking deeply about what finding these human-like structures means for the legal rights of animals." The Newser headline I cited in the newsletter, "Sperm Whales May Be Talking About Us," is more cheeky than literal, but there's something worth sitting with underneath it. These are animals with the largest brains of any species on Earth, with complex social structures, individual names for each other confirmed by prior research, and communication systems that parallel human phonetics. The question of what they're saying has moved from probably nothing meaningful to we're getting close to being able to ask. I have no doubt the whales are judging us, and rightfully so. If you could hear what one animal in your life was saying about you, Dublin, a cat, anything, which one would you most want to hear from, and what do you genuinely think they'd say?
Admiral, there be whales here!
eBay has agreed to pay nearly $50 million to a Massachusetts couple who received cockroaches, a bloody pig mask, and other disturbing deliveries as part of an alleged harassment campaign by eBay employees. I can only imagine the disappointment of anyone who had ordered cockroaches and a bloody pig mask legitimately and never received their shipment.
Shoot, a fella could have a pretty good weekend in Vegas with all that stuff.
Some evangelical Christians are turning airplanes into pulpits, standing up mid-flight to deliver sermons to captive passengers. A Washington Post piece covered the trend and the flight attendants' responses. I'm not sure I could imagine a less effective way to win people over to any cause. The captive audience argument only works if the audience is receptive. Airplanes are not.
Good God. Yes, that's just what the Hebrews thought.
A Utah bride-to-be is accused of setting fire to the church building while she was there preparing for her wedding. This is one approach to cold feet, if not the most advisable. The fire was contained. The wedding status is unclear.
Marriage. Marriage is what brings us together today.
Colonel Harlan Sanders' signature black string bow tie and personal day planner sold at auction, fetching significant bids from collectors of Kentucky Fried Chicken memorabilia. They can go ahead and just give me the chicken.
What's the matter, Colonel Sanders? Chicken?
That's new side quest. 3 questions out for your advice and consent. The specific thing costing you the most sleep and what you've tried. at what age your kids got or will get a phone and how you made that call, and the animal in your life you'd most want to hear from and what you think they'd say. Email me at newsidequest@gmail.com or visit the Substack comments. See you tomorrow.